Yo, what's up? Whoop whoop, it's your boy Killer J coming back with you with another edition of Whoops Up, Whoops Down, the Juggalo movie podcast, or whatever I want to call it today. And folks, beaming in for this week's episode is Humble Among, as me and him discuss Toxic Avenger 2 and our ongoing saga with Toxie in these movie sequels. This is a film saga that me and Humble have talked about doing, and then it's gonna last for this whole summer. So the summer of Toxie is here, and we're in full gear on today's episode. Before we get to that, let's get to some news. Just letting you know, hey, if you have never been to the gathering of the Juggalos, I think this is the year that you should go. It's the 25th anniversary. They're calling it the Gathering of Legends. A lot of fun stuff could be had there, and I think it's just a good time to go and be a part of something very special. That's something I always look forward to every year. The information you can get those tickets will be under the video in the descriptions, so you can click there and get your tickets and stuff like that. And if you're thinking, oh man, $300, that's so much. But hey, you can pay through PayPal and do payments. So you can get your payments down into four and to a nice bigger chunk. So you can manage it better because we are what is going on June now. So we're 2 months away from the gathering. I think it's time to get it together and get your tickets. Also, if you're a big lazy and crazy fan like I am, today this is a special week because the mystery box are back. So under the video's description is the website to go to lazyandcrazy.org and get your mystery box. There's two different values. There's one that's $200 and one is 60. If you can afford the $200 one and want to start a lazy and crazy collection, this is the spot, man. You're gonna get so much awesome freshness that's going to be valued more than $200. Like you're going to get more than what you're actually paying for. So this is the time, folks. So under the description is that to get the mystery boxes. When it comes to the Jug Awards, no words on that one yet. But if you go to Frankie Goldie's, Devereaux, and Acetone's Instagram, there is a video. There's a post that you can be part of a getaway because Murda Gloves, the new Gloom Unit single, is going to be out on June the 6th. So if you pre-save that and go over to their Instagram and under their comment say Gloom Unit, you can get part in a giveaway. So there's your little shout out for that. And 6/6/2025 is the release for Murder Gloves. I'm also going to put in the video description is the website for Gloom Unit because new t-shirts did drop. Also, last Friday, the new Ouija Owl Chlorine came out, and I'm going to save my thoughts for Chlorine for the next video. Give you an actually in-depth video for that one. Um, but yeah, so check out Chlorine. There's a lot of bangers on that one, and we're getting closer to the new rune. So that's pretty cool. But that is the news for right now. If I have more, I'll let you know. But let's get to that interview with Humble Among as we discuss Toxic Avenger 2. All right, yo. Welcome to the interview portion of the show. And today I got my homie, Humble Among, as
Hey,
we
whoop, whoop.
whoop,
How we
whoop.
doing, y'all?
Toxic Avenger. I'm realizing that this summer has becoming the summer of Toxie.
We've
Because
made it. We've made it the summer of Toxie. We
we
brought the
did.
movie back from the dead. We brought lost media back from the dead. We definitely made it the summer of Toxie, that's for sure.
Because my wife, when I told her I was watching Toxic Avenger 2, she's like, when are we going to be done with this?
Emily, and by the way, full disclosure, Emily did not watch Toxic Avenger. I don't think she watched one with me. I showed her one before, so she's seen it, but she hates trauma. She absolutely hates trauma. She refused to watch part two with me, so I watched it by myself as well.
She
Um,
actually ended up watching it with me.
she did watch it with you though.
My mom, yeah, my wife did watch it with me, yes.
So what did she think then?
I actually didn't get her opinion about it. We were just kind of
Mm,
watching it. But
well,
let's
it's
just
not a
say
good
that
sign.
I visibly enjoyed it more.
I really like without getting too deep into it. First of all, I saw this movie a lot when I was a kid. I know I rented 1, 2, and 3 from the video store a shitload when I was a kid. I don't remember jack shit from this one. It's probably been since I was a little kid or something since I've seen it. I don't remember shit, dog. The whole Japanese plot, I don't remember any of that.
Thank
Um,
God.
I
Thank God.
think I think I remember a little bit of the ending without spoiling it. I think I remember some of that. We'll get to that because I got copious notes. I took ridiculous notes on
Good.
this. So we're gonna go through the
You
movie, I think.
this is you're a fan of this series, so I kind of can just gurgitate what I saw, and then you can just like relay it back to me like we did last time. I don't know if I have a lot more confusion because I watched the first one and I'm like, and then I was like, oh, I kind of know what to expect. So when I was watching it, I was like, the beginning kind of was different, and then it's like, oh yeah, we're back into it. I'm like, all right, there's a moment when we get back into the style,
Well, if
but
you want to just
before,
jump right into the damn
no,
movie,
no, I can't jump in the movie, man. We got to talk about this fucking musical I saw.
okay, yeah, let's talk about the musical first, because I got
Okay,
questions about the musical. So is it the basic plot of Toxic Avenger, I'm assuming?
no,
No? It's its
no,
own thing?
it's its own thing. It
Oh,
references Toxic
okay.
Avenger. They make a lot of changes.
Fuck. See, now I really wanna see that, man. So it's its own thing.
It's its own thing.
Crazy. Madness.
Like to the point where he doesn't even use the mop.
So is it original songs?
Yes.
Crazy. Crazy. I would need to see this damn thing then.
Yeah, it's probably like a decade old.
They don't have a DVD release, I don't think, of that, though.
Dude, I saw a local production, like a local town, put this on.
God damn it. I wanna
It's
see it.
not.
I
It's
wanna
not
see
actor. It's not like a company going around different ones. It was like, hey,
it.
this rando hick town was just like, we're showing Toxic Avenger the musical.
God damn it, dude. So, what can you tell me about it? What did you think?
I thought it was
I mean,
good.
last time I think you were telling me that you were criticizing what was it your niece's performance
Yeah,
in the school
definitely better than that. I was
play?
so there was a sport when it was first starting. I was trying to compare it too much to the movie,
Okay.
but even the play references the movie and basically is like, hey, don't get mad at us. It's like almost basically like this is not a sacred cow of a B. Like, this is a B level movie. Like
Yeah.
if you want to watch that movie, go to the DVD store. Like this is its own thing, and I liked the production because it was only like 6 actors. Right? They had 2 guys, a black guy and a white guy, and in the script they're called White Dude, Black Dude, and they're playing the town of Trauma, and they pop up in different characters, do drag and everything else. Right? To me, they are those 2 guys who played White Dude, Black Dude stole the show because they had to be so many different characters and stuff like that. And every time they were on, it were awesome. Melvin is a nerd, but not in the nerd like in the health club doesn't show up here. No health club.
What? So they do the origin story again, though?
Yeah, differently. And Sluggo and they do it, but they're high school bullies.
So it's a remake almost.
Kind of, yes.
Interesting.
The mayor is still a villain, but the mayor is a woman.
Is it a big fat woman?
Yes, and actually,
Hell
she
yeah.
double plays the mom
Hell yeah.
because there's Melvin was created by his mom, but the mayor created the Toxic Avenger, so there's a mirror. I think there's a mirror between the characters for that.
Oh, interesting. I see why they would do that. Like, yeah, he almost sees. Yeah, that's an interesting choice.
Claire is still blind, but she she knew Melvin before, like because in the movie Claire didn't meet Toxie until he was Toxie.
Yeah.
Well, in the play, in the musical, they already knew each other, and that Melvin already liked her.
And by the way, did you notice in I'm jumping ahead a little bit and talking about 2, but did you notice that in this one, and again, it threw me off because I was like, this is a different actress, no? So I looked it
Yes.
up, and her name is Claire in 2, and I think everything going forward, but in the first one, her name is Sarah.
Okay, that's what it is. Okay, cool. Yeah, so in the musical, it is Sarah. Okay.
Claire, and I guess it must. So is it in the musical? Was it Sarah as well?
Sarah, yeah. Because I was like Sarah, but I was like Sarah, and then Toxie 2 is like Claire. I was like,
Yeah.
okay, that sounds weird.
Though I think it's Claire with everything going forward.
Okay, but she's slutty in
Yeah,
the
it's I mean,
musical.
it's the same character, right? I mean,
Yeah.
so we
Well,
can agree
but
Sarah and
she's a
Karen.
librarian. We actually get more backstory. A
What?
librarian. She works for the
Mm.
city's librarian. Yes.
So she doesn't work for the a home for the blind.
No,
Interesting. Interesting.
she's a librarian. Um, in the end, Toxie becomes the governor of New Jersey.
Whoa! That's a wild ending. I like that
And
ending.
pretty much says, like, if you try to pollute, I'm basically going to kill you. He actually says that.
I mean, I like that ending. I like that he got political and
He does kill an old woman that makes him feel bad. Then you find out that she was actually a they bring the white slavery thing again in the musical.
huh.
Because we didn't
No.
talk about it, but remember the crime of that lady was that she was doing white slavery. And I loved how in the sequel of Toxic 2, they bring white slavery back
Yeah, I think white
again.
slavery gets brought up with his dad, right?
Yes. Well, no, I think when the league, the Apocalypse Inc. people were talking about wanting their achievements, I think white slavery is
Oh
why
yeah.
one of the
Yeah.
girls was talking about white slavery.
Yeah, it definitely gets brought up at some point. I do remember that.
But I think you would enjoy it, and I think it's something that maybe even Emily would enjoy.
Oh, I don't know about that.
It's just campy. Like it
As
really
soon as she hears Toxic Avenger, she's gonna be like, "No."
no, I'm like, hey, and here's the thing, it's a camp fun. It knows it breaks the fourth wall.
I don't think she likes camp either, by the way.
What?
I don't think.
Camp is that's why okay.
Here's the thing, she does like camp, but she doesn't realize that she likes camp because she likes, like, Hello Kitty and, like, she unironically loves the movie Crossroads, like, that's one of her favorite movies, like, and unironically loves the movie Mean Girls. What did she say her top 3 movies were the other day?
Well, Mingos
Mean
is not that
Girls,
bad.
Crossroads, and something else. Fuck.
Mingos is not bad.
But I mean, Crossroads.
I mean, okay, I have one memory of watching Crossroads, and everybody keeps telling me it's bad.
I mean, it's Crossroads. I mean, there is some pretty funny moments in it that are to me, that's why I like it ironically because I think there's some funny shit in it.
Oh, that's what
She
I hear.
unironically loves the movie. She's like, it's a great drama. It's a great shit. So any other things to talk about with the musical? Did we hit all the
Okay,
points
so
with the musical?
the spirit, I think it does everything that the Toxic Avengers in the spirit. Like it definitely is a spirit of Toxic Avengers. Like what I would want in a musical or what you can do on a play on a stage. I think
Mm,
they did everything they could do while keeping it underground. Like their songs had cursing in it, breaking the fourth wall, which some stage people hate. That don't ever do that. There's a difference between stage and don't ever. I love breaking the fourth wall. I think it makes the audience have so much fun, and the audience who was watching it had a great time. Now, I think that some of it was biased as hell because when I'm going to a show and they're laughing at every little thing, I'm just like, the shit hadn't started yet. Like, that's not even a joke yet, and you're laughing. I'm like, all right, this is your people, whatever. You're having a good time,
yeah.
whatever. I'm gonna move on from that.
All right,
All right.
let's
Anyways,
get into Toxie 2 because I got so much to talk about Toxie
I
2.
do too because we're talking about superheroes. I might cut it from the Batman take because it's like what I'm gonna. I think Toxie is what Superman can be because here's a guy who is super nice in his intention. Only like he only gets evil doers is what he kills, and like he's so strong he kills them. But talk about corny, like his good heartiness is corny, but I'm like, but it's endearing at the same time, especially how ugly he looks.
But Toxie's played for laughs.
Right.
Almost everything in this movie is played for laughs, obviously. So
Yeah.
his corniness is it can be played off as being corny and goofy and for laughs.
Especially when we go to Tokyo.
Yeah. I mean, dude, there's so much crazy shit in here.
There is. Okay, because
Can we
there's
talk first of all, I want to talk about the fact that they shot basically so much shit for Toxic Avenger 2 that they ended up splitting it into 2 movies. So
the third
really
film is
is the same shooting. It's the same shoot.
okay, because it feels like there's like it he comes back and beats the ending. The ending did feel anticlimactic a bit. It
I
felt like, but the
check this out,
corporation's still
man.
around.
You want to hear some mind blowing shit? So they divided the movies into two movies, right? Two and three, way
Yeah.
back in the day. Obviously to make some money too, because it's Lloyd Kaufman. So they went though back and if we're talking about like Schumacher cut type shit, this is a kind of similar shit. Really, they went back and they re-edited it, and they're gonna like premiere that July 19th, and the movie's called Mr. Melvin. And
Wow.
it's an amalgamation of the footage from 2 and 3. So, I feel like, hopefully that comes out, and, like, after we see 2 and 3, we can see Mr. Melvin.
That'd be interesting. That would
I'm
be
hoping that
interesting.
gets their actual fucking release, though, because I am hella curious to, like, how they would re-edit all that shit.
Sometimes I don't know. Sometimes I don't. It's when you know a movie's bad and it doesn't know can be fun. This movie was like it knows it. They know it's low budget, but they had a lot of fun with it. A lot of
Oh, man, for
Toxi's
sure.
weapons. I mean, when he goes to Tokyo, they were like doing a lot of fun stuff there. I love the villains in this movie. I
Bro, I
love
got,
the
like
introduction.
bro, that the opening scene, so this is a slight spoiler. We're gonna be spoiling shit. Fuck it. If you want to see, go watch Toxic Avenger and
This
come
movie
back to us.
it came
I'm
out in
gonna be
'89.
spoiling
This
shit.
is
I'm gonna be
'89,
spoiling shit.
right?
Yeah,
1989. You had
something like
time.
that. You had time.
I've been
um,
warning people like for weeks.
so the opening scene, bro, is basically an extended fight scene, and it goes for I think. Hold on, I have so many notes, bro. Where is it? Where is it? I think it was almost 20 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it felt like a
All
long time.
of the opening is 20 minutes I have in my note. Almost all of it is fight scene. And so much inventive weird violence just to open the movie is the reason that like I was surprised I don't remember more of this cuz like there's so much weird shit. First of all, let me list to you Tromaville's citizens' principal activities as described to us by our narrator, Melvin.
Before you,
Dancing in the streets,
yes,
tattooing, manufacturing orange juice, exterminating vermin,
with a shoe.
watching watching excellent movies, and dancing in the streets.
Yes, that opening was just like, and I kept thinking about Toxic Avenger 1, where they opened to this town of Trauma and all those, and we spent about a long time with Sluggo and the other guy. How long we were spent with them and how all those harmful things they were doing to now get the reverse and go like, look what Toxic has done to Trauma and how happy they are, and to make an exclamation point of how happy they are. A lot of fucking dancing, like cops dancing with other people. The exterminating one was like there's a guy on his hands and knees with a shoe just tapping on bugs. I'm just like, wow, like what of the movie already is tipping their cap to me right there and saying this movie is camp and this is we're here to have fun. So like I was already on board because like I was already laughing. So when we get to Claire, which I remember when I heard Claire, I was like,
Formerly
Claire.
Sarah, now Claire.
I was like, all right, he didn't say girlfriend. He said my best pal, my best girl. I was like, okay, Claire. And I just love the blind school. I mean, there's a blind guy on the roof.
There's
There's
some
blind
great
guys playing basketball. There's a
Yeah, there's
blind.
great blind humor. There's one of my notes is some really good blind jokes. um, so yeah, some of these goons, man. So basically, Claire works at the school, not school, the home for the blind. Toxie works there too, and what is it? Apocalypse Inc. pulls up,
Yes.
and they have seemingly a clown car limo full of goons that start piling out. Uh,
Did you catch one goon surprised me, and it took me a while to realize who this guy was until he started doing martial arts. I was like, Michael J. White's in this?
was that really him?
Yes,
No
yes, that is
fucking way,
him.
dog. I know
Is it?
exactly the holy shit, I did not know that was
I
him,
was
that's
like,
insane.
Spawn, Black Dynamite is in this movie. Holy shit! Oh, I know
Bro,
him.
I didn't know that. That's
Because I
fucking
watched Black
crazy.
Dynamite so much. I know his voice. I know his
Man,
like.
that has to be early as fuck in his career, right?
Yes, I mean this is '89, so like he does Spawn in '96,
Bro, that's
'95.
insane. Like, that's just another example to me of, like, people who started with Trauma and got fucking
Now,
bro, we're talking James Gunn.
yes,
James Gunn got his fucking start at Trauma, bro.
really.
Yeah.
What do you do?
He was writing shit. He was writing
Oh,
shit for Trauma.
interesting. All
Bro,
right.
that's fucking crazy.
Uh,
Yeah, that's a probably one of the biggest examples right there is James Gunn.
yeah,
Eli Roth's another one, man. Eli Roth started working with Trauma.
that makes sense. So the beginning of the movie felt like pretty tamed. I was like, oh, and then when Toxie is like getting pretty much a boner because it's like, oh, I can kill people again. The violence they were doing and the practical effects in this one, I would say, is a lot better than the last movie. You can tell that there's a little bit more budget and more advancements with
Yeah.
practicality. Holy shit! Like 20 minutes of fun, I would say. I had a lot of fun
Yeah.
with seeing Toxie kill all these. I mean, he put a little person into a basketball.
He, a pus delivery guy with pimples shoots,
Yep.
and by the way, it says pus. And yes, that's a fun little joke, UPS, but it says pus.
Us.
And he's got nothing but pimples on his face, like really gross out pimply shit. Shoots an old lady with an AK, and then they blow up the fucking home. And then the fight scene starts. He
Yep.
squishes a guy in a wheelchair and yeets him.
Yep.
Strangles a guy with flower vines. I have here. Shoves a rose in his eye. Rips another guy's arms off. Punches into a guy's skull. Let's see. And then there's more goons coming out of the fucking limousine like a clown car. Then it's the henchman. Fuck, man.
The
Let's
the
see.
head guy looks like Tim Curry.
Yeah, I thought it was Tim Curry for a second too,
I
actually.
wanted to keep
Like a
saying it
split
was, but it's
second.
not. It's discounted.
Right in the beginning when when they first pull up in the limo, I thought it was Tim Curry for a split second. Yeah, he bangs another guy in the head with a mallet until he's just a hat with a pair of
Not any
shoes.
mallet, a croquet mallet.
Yeah. But like a cartoon character till he's just a pair of shoes and a hat.
That's where I went to. Like, kind of like this is Looney Tunes. Like we're
Yeah,
at
it's
the point.
very
This
cartoony.
is
Yeah,
a very Looney Tunes kind of
yeah.
thing. Where like if this was animated, you'd be laughing. like
The
oh,
next one is he cracks two guys' heads together like coconuts, but their heads literally explode.
but their
Like this
bodies are
fucking
looking for their
M80s.
heads.
What's that?
So when he
Oh
crushes
yeah, they're
their
still
heads
alive.
together, they're like
Yeah,
looking
they're
for
still
their
walking
heads.
around and shit.
And there's the guys like, "Can you hear me? Can you hear me?" And he rips this dude's ears off and goes, "Like, can you hear me now?"
Yeah, the two guys start dancing with no heads. I have here. He rips the
Yeah,
guy's ears
yeah.
off. Let's see. The nunchuck guy leaves. That must be
That's Michael J. White.
yeah, he leaves because he has a piano lesson. So he's the only survivor out of that whole
Right, and he
group.
shows up. He shows up like two more times, maybe three more times in the film. Like Toxie does not
Oh,
kill
does he
him.
really? I didn't even
Yeah,
fucking pay
so
attention to that.
He's actually in the when the Apocalypse Inc. is talking. He's one of the while the villains were saying like we did this, this, and that. Like
Oh, the
he's
later
one of the guys
scene
that talks. Yes,
when they have the meeting
and
and shit.
remember
So
Michael J. White's also in
he
the Dark Knight.
escaped. So
It's
he
kind of what
escaped to go to the meeting, so to speak.
yes,
Yeah, man. Toxie eats a fully automatic gun.
yep.
Uh rips the genitals off of a KKK member whose hood goes on off the floor. This is my wildest note for the whole thing. Uh I can't believe I wrote this. Rips the genitals off of a KKK member whose hood goes off to reveal that he has Clockwork E paint on for some fucking reason.
Oh, okay, yes, all right. You weren't the only one.
I rewound it because I'm like, wait, did he have silver paint on?
I always was like, oh wow,
Yes,
the
he
KK
did have
member
silver
turned out
paint
to be
on.
a super boof boy. I was like, wow. Not saying we're not. No, we're not gonna say that, but no. But I thought it was funny. I was like, wow,
It's funny.
like, why is it? Why is he paint with like silver paint? That was weird.
Yeah, it was weird.
That was weird, and I was just like, oh,
Weird decision.
like you're already covering your face. Why do you need to cover your face more? Like
He
I feel.
folds a black midget into a basketball and then does a 360 dunk with him. I mean, at that point, I mean, if you don't love this movie, I
First
mean,
20
there's
minutes.
one thing you can say about this movie, it lets you know what exactly you're in for right out the fucking gate, man.
Correct. Because
Um,
then we're quickly gonna go to a.
hold on, I got more. Hold
Oh,
on,
I
I
got
got more.
more.
You see, he leaps into the air, causing two goons to shoot each other like a fucking superhero. Basically, he can fly, it seems. But then after that, the Apocalypse Inc. limo does leave defeated. 20 minutes fight scene. Holy shit, man.
I think one of the lines, one of the guys died, and you can hear the lady go, oh, "That's one of our best guys."
Yeah, dude.
I was like, "Well."
Oh man. Might be my favorite scene in the movie though. Looking back, that's like
To me, that's what. Yes,
that's
that's.
brilliant. That's everything you want Trauma to be right there in 20 minutes.
I
You
honestly,
can show
you
people
can.
just that 20 minutes and be like, that's all you have to see.
Yeah, because so after that, Claire it thinks that Toxie's dead, but turns out I'm alive, and we kind of go back to Apocalypse Inc. and they have. I think they're right in the movies.
Bro, did you notice okay, where did you watch your version?
Oh, Tubi.
So in your version, there was commercials probably edited in, right?
Yeah.
So did you notice the fade to black moments though?
Um.
So I watched it on Shudder, and there's like no commercial breaks, obviously, but they have these fade to black moments where I'm like, this seems like a fucking made for TV movie. Designed it they designed it to have commercial breaks.
Like possibly.
But I don't, you might not have noticed it if you watched it on Tubi because they might have literally used that shit as commercial breaks.
Yeah, I think there's only one time where the commercial breaks came in the middle of something. Other than that, the commercial breaks have been kind of in a nice little spot. For me, this movie needs like a little break, especially that after that fight scene. I was like, "Whoo, wow, that was a lot." And I
Did you
love
notice
how
he
we go.
saves a did you notice he saves a baby from a tree?
Yes, and then
That
there's a
shit was
blind
making
woman
me
behind the
laugh.
car going, where's my baby?
Bro,
Where's my
like,
baby?"
that's the funniest save the cat moment I've ever seen,
Like that
saving a
baby,
baby
like,
from a
I,
tree.
well,
So fucking great, bro.
oh, no, I think the great stuff, the funnier stuff to me is in Tokyo with Toxie, and just like me picturing them not letting, like, some of these are probably genuine reactions from Japanese people of this guy just walking around like that, just this huge man walking around Tokyo, because it looks like, I'm glad that they did. They could have went the cheap way and could have gone to like Toronto or something. They're like, no, we're going to fucking Tokyo to film this section of Toxie looking for his dad.
Can we talk about the meeting first, though? I have
Oh
some
no, we
thoughts
got
about the
to.
meeting.
We got to, because that, you talk about my other favorite scene. I love this scene because
Yeah,
it's just
this
so
is a really
like,
good one. I'm looking at my notes realizing how good this scene
oh,
was,
this
man.
is like
They seem to be in the business of pollution for profit is what I
correct.
what I have written
I
here.
was like, wow, this
One
could have
of
been
their one of their gimmicks is they're selling radioactive grenades to third world countries.
a. Yeah, we're polluting the water, the high five each other. Yeah.
Did you
Okay,
notice the character of Cigar Face?
came back. I was so happy. I was like,
He
it's
was
that
there.
guy.
I was like, "Hey, I remember you. You got killed."
No, Cigarface didn't get killed.
He got killed, I thought, in the first one
No,
in the
no.
opening.
I think he got away. There's one guy that got away.
Hmm.
I think Cigarface got away.
So did he survive the whole movie?
Yeah,
How did Cigar Face That's fucking crazy to me.
yeah. Because I think.
The fat mare's there too. Or at least the actor who plays the fat mare.
Oh, okay.
Did you notice that? The
Yeah,
fat mare was there?
yeah. Oh, I think there's another fat guy that they can't.
I
Like,
don't think it's supposed to be the mayor character, but it's definitely the same actor because they always use that guy in like every fucking thing.
well, they use another fat guy too. That's in the movie that was in the first movie too. He was that bearded fat guy.
There's another fat guy. I hope I'm not confusing fat guys.
Maybe.
That would be really
No.
fattest of me.
So
All fat
also,
guys look the same to me, dude.
and one of them. So when they're talking about all about their pollution and everything, I was just like, wow, this could be like the villains for Captain Planet.
Yeah, for real. For real.
And their scheme is that their purpose is
Traumatons, bro. Traumatons.
traumatons. Yeah, yeah. Um,
This is where Traumatons gets brought up. A holy exposition.
it pretty much, yes. So like, hey, he needs these things to, he when the
He
traumaton.
has these things called traumatons,
Yeah,
basically, is what they explain. Particles called traumatons. And they have to destroy the traumatons using anti-traumatons that only exist in Japan for some reason because they're just better at electronics, is how they explain it.
Technology. If you
Yeah,
want a good product, you go to
yeah,
Japan.
you get it from Japan, baby.
uh, I also liked what is it? So their scheme is basically they're polluting on purpose. So then
They
when
want to get into Tromaville. Basically, they can't get into Tromaville because Toxie's done such a good job.
so to take New York fully,
Yeah,
they
to take
need
New York.
Tromaville, and
Yeah,
it's
to
like if
take
we
New York.
can't take Tromaville, that means Toxie will come to New York and save New York. If he saves New York, like New York is the mecca of it's not the official Washington D.C. is where all our government happens, but New York is such a symbol of America that like if this evil corporation wants to be taken freaking serious, they gotta take New York. Like you gots to. That's why every alien invasion happens in fucking New York because it's like that's the mecca.
Yeah,
So
man. Yeah,
yeah,
so they got to get anti-traumatons from Japan.
from Japan.
Toxie's depressed. Toxie's sad because he caused a bunch of blind people to die. Well, he
uh,
didn't. I'm putting that on Toxie pretty heavy there. I guess Apocalypse Inc. Caused all the blind people to die. He says he's seeing a therapist 7 times a week and he's got to bump it up to 8.
that was crazy.
So, I have a question. So I guess he's doing 2 daily sessions
Yes.
or do you think he's doing multiple day sessions like throughout the week and he like takes the weekend off or something?
Wow. I mean, if I had turned into a radioactive monster out of nowhere and I'm doing all these, murders, I mean, I would get to you. So, but twice a day is crazy. I
He's
would
got to
think
do it twice a day at least one of those days though if he's doing it 8.
8. Yeah, that might be like a. I think one of the days is a weekend. No, I think he's
It
doing all
almost makes
7
more
days.
sense. It
I think
almost makes more sense if he did 4 days twice a day.
that's his job. But just go see his psychiatrist who pretty much wants to bang him.
Yeah, she just basically starts humping him. She
Oh,
just
remember your father.
and gives more exposition.
I mean, we got to. I mean, like, you're telling
Toxie,
me
Toxie sprinkles Drano on his food.
yes. I think there was one of the
When he
jokes.
takes a poop, when he takes a poop, there's sparking electric lights and sounds that are coming from the bathroom. That's another one of my favorite moments. I loved when he was taking a poop. I'm like, wow, this is interesting lore. This is what we call lore building. I
Here's
like
the
this.
thing. And it's kind of like his bedroom is like a studio because there's no door, like there's no like,
Yeah, it's just like an open bathroom. It's like an open
and the
open
camera
concept. It's
and
an open concept bathroom.
the camera pans from left to right slowly as
Not like
we are
around the
creeping
corner,
in
right?
him to taking a. It's not like we cut and he's taking a shit. No, we are invading his
Yeah, we're
privacy.
invading his private space a little bit to see this.
Like, hey,
We're
you
peeking around
wondered,
a corner.
and we know that.
That's a good observation, man. It really
Yeah,
is like we're peeking around a corner.
and we found out that he still slangs, even though he's a toxic monster, he got a toxic dick because he's still.
Yeah.
And
There's an
Claire
extended hump dancing sequence I
oh,
have here.
and Claire is dressing in the most schemy like clothing in the wild. I looked at like I asked my wife, I was like, "You think Claire dresses that for Toxie or like, or does she know she's wearing lingerie all the time?" Like that's what I'm curious about.
Yeah, I think she might not realize she's doing that at all. I think
Oh,
that
and,
might be
and
the joke.
I think in one of the scenes in their sex scenes, either she goes down on him or she goes down, he goes down on her. There is an oral scene.
Yeah, I have it here. Steam comes out of Toxie's ears while he's getting sloppy toppy.
I can't believe she's putting that radioactive dick in her mouth. That's
He
crazy.
has all of these cool physical reactions though, like steam coming out of his
Yeah, they're
ears.
showing you that they have money to really play around with talk because like there's many times, especially when we get to Japan, where you see that eye move.
Yeah, bro, that happened in the opening scene too, I think. There's a moment where his eye moved and I was like, "Fuck, that's so cool that they did that."
Yeah.
Um or maybe I noticed it in Japan for the first time too. I might have passed over that note. I took so many notes, Josh. Like I'm trying.
Well, I
It's
mean, the movie's
insane.
fucking insane.
I had a good time watching this though. That's why I was like I had so many notes I was taking.
I think I
Um
enjoyed the first one more. I think the first one's pacing is better than this one. Now, since you just told me that this was two fucking movies,
Yeah.
That can understand the
Gotta speak
pacing a little
free.
bit because I think we spend too much time in Japan.
Yeah.
Too much time.
You can almost imagine how it might be just a subplot or just an act 2 of a movie where it's like, I mean, I guess it still is mostly the act 2 of the movie, but it's
Yeah.
like the act 2 that goes all the way into the act 3, and then we get a real quick epilogue, like, just to chop it off at the end.
And I find it funny that the way he traveled to Japan was through a wind sail
Yeah,
and
dog.
from
He
New
just
York,
went
New
just over
Jersey.
there, dog.
And it's just like, that would take
Yeah,
a long ass time.
and he forgot his passport. By the way, Toxie's dad, his name, oh, by the way, I don't know in the first movie, I forgot to bring this up. In the first movie, I don't know if we got a last name for Melvin. His
No.
last name is Junko, Melvin Junko. And we learn when the therapist is humping him that the dad's name is Phineas T. Junko, aka Big Mac. And he
Which
is in Japan.
when we open to the first scene, we actually see a Big Mac McDonald's like,
Do we really?
yes, you do. Yeah.
Oh, dude, good
It's
catch.
it says Big Mac. So
Dude, that's dope. I didn't fucking catch that. That's a really good catch, Josh. Fuck.
dude, there's sometimes I can watch like a 1 minute clip and I'll be like, oh, I picked up on these fucking things. But yeah, so
Yeah,
that
that's a
was
good
like
catch.
that's pretty cool. It's Big Mac and stuff like that. That
That's
was a constant
that's
reminder of his
definitely a
father.
little wink. That's definitely a little
Yeah,
wink there. Fuck, man. Yeah,
he's content.
he comes out of the water Godzilla style, though.
To me, that was funny. That's like the
Yeah.
best way to interact with these people is to come out as a radioactive monster. I'm like,
At this
that's
point
funny.
at this point, I guess it's a good time to talk about, something I noticed with the movie. For the most part, I mean, I guess it gets a little bit offensive later on,
A
but
little bit
for the most part, it's pretty culturally sensitive.
because they went to Japan.
Surprisingly for the time period, 'cause, I mean, it could have been all, ching chong bing bong or some shit, and,
No,
like, really but, I mean, they do pay respect, I think, for the most part. I do think there's a little bit of crazy shit later on, maybe with the dubbing that could be
yes.
considered.
Okay, so when we get to Big Mac Jinko, the
I think we're
character,
getting a little ahead of ourselves, but I wanted to get that out of the way for some of the stuff that we're gonna be
so
talking about.
I think the reason why it doesn't come like, to me, since it comes out authentic because they are in Japan and
Yeah.
they're actually using Japanese people. And coming from somebody who watches subtitle like stuff from Japan, like when the actors are speaking, I'm like, that is a Japanese native fucking speaker.
This is something I don't have in my notes that I wanted to ask you, though. Did your version have subtitles for the Japanese language
Nope,
stuff?
it just says speaking Japanese, and sometimes they
Yeah.
just be talking.
Yeah, I didn't have any subtitles on mine either, so
No, and honestly, it doesn't really matter what they are
you
saying to
watched the movie
Toxie.
you watched the movie with subtitles on too, just in
Oh, of
general.
course, yes, I do. Yes, to me, it helps with. I don't have to view the movie multiple times because I'm also watching and reading.
Yeah, I do that, quite a bit. You know what, I had to do that with The Witch, bro. I could not even fucking understand The
Oh
Witch.
yeah, yeah, the Veach. I always applaud directors that go for it. They really try. If it hits, if even it's a hit or miss, I'm just like, man, they fucking tried, and that's why I like the
So much
Toxic Avenger.
I mean,
Like,
so much watchability in there too, but yeah, let's get back into Toxie. Toxie goes to, find his dad after frightening Japanese people everywhere he fucking goes.
unintentionally, just and that might have
He
lasted a
doesn't
little
know
too
he's
long.
doing that.
My wife even looked at me. He's like, "How long are they going to keep doing this?" Because it was almost the same joke over and over again. Like,
I mean, it literally happens everywhere he goes.
and then
It's,
when he's so I liked when he was in Tokyo, how many fish gag that kept going on. There was a runner where fish stuff happened. Like a guy gets clipped in the nose in the shape of a fish.
yeah, well, there's a Japanese snack called, taiyaki, I
Yeah.
believe, and,
Uh,
he does get someone with the metal. I was trying to figure out what that was. I didn't look up what it was, but it seemed to be some sort of baked, like, sandwich thing or something,
yeah, it's like
like, with some
in
meat
the
in the
shape of
middle.
a fish. It looked like you put your
Yeah, it's
whatever
like baked
and you
like,
mold
the
it.
bread is baked into a fish,
And it
though.
looks like the thing he kept flipping over that is actually like oil. It's
Huh.
frying it. I think it looks like because it's hot. Because that's why he's like when you get pressed, it's not just that because it's
Yeah,
pressing it
I
into a
mean
fish. It's fucking hot as well.
but yeah, he does get a napkin with his father's name in Japanese from someone at the Tromaville sushi bar. So he's walking around with this napkin with his father's name, Mac Funko, Junko, Mac Junko,
Yeah.
in Japanese on this napkin. But yeah, you see his body react to the presence of evil and him kind of go into berserker mode.
Oh yeah, because the girl we're
The
gonna follow
trauma
on,
clone.
got her Akira style. Like I just saw it, like it was just like a girl gets captured, about to get raped, and he just like and the a woman like taking the top off of another
Mm.
woman. I was just like, oh, you don't see that. That's interesting. And then you see these two guys, these burly mans, and then Toxic just gets this, to me, it's like he gets a boner. It's like I'm excited, oh, and then goes into action. And that's when he's chasing people down a little bit.
Yeah,
He
he says his
kill
traumatons are acting up though.
Yes.
It's just where
Ah!
he's around evil. It comes back later on when he's finds his dad too. Well, his dad. Spoiler. We're getting into
Mm.
spoiler territory already. But yeah, he chases after he gets the motherfucker with the was the taiyaki fish press gimmick. He chases someone into a bathhouse, I guess.
Yes. Yes. Japan. So in Japan, they have public bath. Like they don't have the same weird things that we have. They will have a place where they will shower. Everybody will bathe in this one place. Because some of the housing don't have running water, so they have a place where everybody, the community, will take baths at. It's a
Mhm.
bathhouse.
So he has one of these goons, these punks, in one of the baths, and he starts blowing on the water, making it hot, making it boiling, and he basically makes I guess like an udon or a ramen with him.
Yes, it's a type of ramen. Yes.
He makes yeah, he throws some veggies, some big noodles in there. They're really big noodles though.
It was called Saipai or
He calls it something else. I didn't put it in my notes, but it was yeah, he basically makes a nice little ramen or an udon with him. I wish I would have wrote in my notes what the fuck he does call it though. Oh, I took so many notes, Josh, and that's the one thing I didn't
Well,
take.
I mean, it's a Japanese ramen dish.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, he chases a lady goon into a radio station, and this is one of the more inventive slash confusing kills. I don't even know if it killed her
No,
really.
no, she's still alive.
I think she is still
Well,
alive.
I find it funny. My favorite thing about it was, it's in there's
He
the
calls
Japanese
it.
radio guy was so committed to the bit, like
Yeah, he's
you,
no selling.
oh yeah, I mean, like they
No
have to kind of do that because we kind of
In fact, he's annoyed that they're even in there.
yeah. So when it becomes a human transmitter, it was just like, all right, hold on, let
Yeah,
me
the
keep doing
first
my
human
job.
transmitter. That's what he calls it too. The first human transmitter. I'm gonna turn you into the first human transmitter. Um, yeah, and it's something. It's a sight to be seen.
Yeah, and this is like '89, so like the slasher craze is going down a little bit, but here's Trauma still finding some fun ways to do these um
He's a
a bunch of
superhero
kills.
slasher,
Yeah,
man. Yeah, he's a superhero slasher. That's what he is.
yeah, I like it. I mean, I think it makes it. He's actually doing a better job than Freddy is, honestly.
Masami, is that how you say her name?
Yes, it's the girl that they.
Girl that he rescues and basically goes on to help him look for his papa, Mac Junko, Big Mac Junko. And yeah, Toxie dances with a Japanese punk band for a little while. That's pretty cool.
Goes to a
Um,
Japanese casino.
yeah, he's disguised as a Japanese businessman.
They gave him a wig and the
Disguise
glasses.
is
Oh,
not working. His disguise is clearly not working. People are still incredibly frightened by this monster that's walking around.
very frightening.
Um, yeah. Meanwhile, back in Tromaville, Apocalypse Inc. Is getting back into Tromaville, and they've changed the name of Tromaville to Apocalypseville.
Very
They've
clever.
they've taken over. Yeah, very clever, right? Very original. um, this is a I don't know. I have to ask you. Do you think this line is problematic? I was 10,000 miles away in a land that eats plastic noodles.
Um,
That's Toxie's narration explaining why he wasn't. why he wasn't there.
That might be problematic because I don't think because he's thinking about the ramen, like the little cardboard ramen things,
I don't know.
cup of
That was
noodles.
the first moment where I'm like, maybe it is gonna get lightly problematic here and there. That's still maybe one of the worst moments, though, I think. Tromaville Tromaville residents, are protesting in the park, it seems.
Yes,
Uh,
yes, and on a horse carriage
yeah, why are they riding a horse carriage,
because
bro? That's
the
kinda weird.
anti-pollution, so
I guess
they don't
yeah,
use
I guess so,
gas.
right? Yeah, that's I guess you're right. That
And
is
then they decided to
answering the
pull.
question.
They decide to pull over the horse to fall. Like there's a guy and this girl who are trying to protest. Trying to do their civil duties, and they decided like I'm horny and let's pull over this horse carriage to start making out an Apocalypse Inc. I think the head guy was driving. He's like, oh, I see them,
Yeah,
floors it and just
big
rounds them
old dump
over.
truck. Big old dump truck just takes them all out.
I
Pretty
laughed
fucking
so hard of how
but
ridiculous.
actually a pretty disturbing scene, really. They cut to their faces all bloodied up and shit, I remember. There are drug addicts in the park smoking
Crap.
crap. No, crap.
I know. Crap. That's what I said.
Yeah, not
CRAP.
crack.
Crap.
Did you notice the pipe?
No, I didn't see the pipe.
There's one of them is smoking a little tiny toilet pipe.
That's funny. What did you think about the relationship with Toxie and Misa? Did you think that they were something between them? Because my wife thought that was
A
his
little
Japanese
bit.
girlfriend.
There was a little bit of that. I thought there was, like, hints of a love story there,
Yes.
but, they didn't really do much with it. There was definitely hints of it, I feel like. But, I don't know, Toxie was basically, like, fucking his therapist too, though. I don't know. Toxie might be a bit of a man whore, I'm not sure.
Or like, him and Claire are polyamorous. Who knows? She's
Maybe they
blind.
opened it up.
How can she see?
I mean, there's that scene later on. I guess that's more of like SA though. Never mind. Um, let's see. Back in Japan though, Toxie and Masami are at the fish market. Toxie in his sweet disguise still. Masami says that his father is here. I don't know how they figured out that his father's there, but they just
They talked to some guy that I think they talked to somebody who led them to the fish market, and the fish market guy led him to the dad.
I missed all of that. I missed all
Yeah,
of
yeah,
that.
yeah. Well, I worked something. I had the
They just
subtitles
show
on
up at
too.
the fish market, and I'm like, okay, I guess
Yeah, they got
father's
tipped.
here.
And the guy, so when Foxy meets this guy, I can already tell that the guy who's playing Big Mac Jenko is a Japanese man, but he's mouthing words. I don't believe he's speaking English. He's being dubbed, but he's over animating every word he is saying, and I found that so funny. I laugh every time Big Mac is on the screen.
I wonder if like I wonder if it was one of those things where they told the actor they were going to dub it, or if it was like the actor was so bad that they're like, we have to dub it.
Maybe not.
Like
No, to,
it
to
could
me,
go
that
either.
wasn't. I guess I didn't look at it as bad because he's trying to act like he's speaking English. Because they probably told him, "Hey, your character's gonna be speaking
Mm,
English." Because if he was speaking Japanese, I feel like to me, like the way he was overacting made me enjoy the villain more. Because I think without it, he looks just as bland. Because he's supposed to be in the Apocalypse Inc. group, and I think the way that he talks, the over and the way he just talks with every syllable, I'm like, good guy.
yeah, Toxie's traumatons start to react again though,
He's a bad
and
guy. He
they
beats the
realize he's
shit.
not a good guy. Yeah, he's definitely not a good guy. He's a bad guy. He's smuggling cocaine and fish.
I just love how Misa would just like, hold on a second. Does it like 4 times. He goes, this is cocaine. Oh, like
Yeah,
couldn't you try? The first time was like, oh, that's coke. She wanted to do a lot more coke, but yeah,
yeah, Big
eating
Mac
fish.
says that
Another fish reference right there. And I
here's
think
the white slave. Here's the white slavery reference. Big Mac says that drugs are a small part of his business. He's in the white trade, the white slave trade too, is how he puts it. Yeah, but he's collecting fish oil to use in the production of the anti-traumatons. He reveals, and he has like yeah, a small vial of it. It looks like he's made, and it turns his body into. They kind of insinuate it's going to turn him into a puddle of something,
Yes, I think like the Wicked Witch. I think like the old one of the girls says just like the Wicked Witch.
but it doesn't really do that. It
No, it
doesn't
was just
seem,
it was a
right?
theory. To me, it was like it
Kind
was
of
a
like
theory.
it was kind of like a it hurt him for a little bit, like Superman and Kryptonite or
Right,
something.
right. It felt like if they needed more of it. I think that what they had wasn't enough. It's like they're trying. I think this movie is trying to have
And
a
it didn't even get on him; it spilled in front of him, right?
correct.
I think
Yeah.
it just broke in front of him.
Hmm.
Yeah. So he didn't even get really. He just that was what happens if he's just like next to it, I guess, or if it's in the air around him or whatever. But yeah, fuck, man,
Oh,
more fights
um,
start to happen.
so speaking of it, I didn't bring this. The musical, his weakness is Bleach
Oh, weird, huh?
because Bleach could clean.
Interesting. I don't know how I feel about that.
Yeah, but he comes back. It doesn't worry.
Eh, interesting.
Yes.
Toxie bangs a guy in the head with a bonsai tree and then kicks him in the nuts and yeets him. There's a lot of yeeting of people
There's a
in this
scene
movie.
where
He
he
loves throwing
uses uh actual like he sees throwing stars and he's like, okay. And then he throws real starfish at people.
people. I missed
Um
that. When did that happen? I missed that one.
no,
Fuck.
and then there's a scene where he gets two like piranha fishes to
Yeah, yeah, fish
eat and then
nunchucks
uses
I
as
have here.
nunchucks. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, when they're in Japan, the runners of fish,
Yeah, there's a
like
lot of fish humor for sure.
especially when that guy sees there's a girl who gets like naked, like butt ass naked, because and there's a guy who's like chomping like some sushi fish or whatever, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
and then the dad gets under there and he's getting his leg chopped as he's looking at this
Yeah, he
naked
basically
girl,
chops him into chum and shit,
which
basically.
I remember watching the Boondocks video Red Mist. I think they used the scene of the chopping of Big Mac's leg in that music video.
Mm. There's also, I guess, he does say Kabuki Man at one point with one of the thugs coming,
Yes,
and that I haven't seen Kabuki Man before, so I have to assume this is an early sketch of Kabuki Man or an early concept of Kabuki Man because it didn't look like the Kabuki Man that I know, at least from the trauma stuff that I've seen.
possibly.
So I was really kind of confused about that part. I didn't have any chance to look into more history of Kabuki Man, but that's definitely not the Kabuki Man that I know. That's like a different version of Kabuki Man. And Kabuki Man's supposed to be a good guy, like Toxie. So that confused me. So I have to assume that's like the birth of Kabuki Man.
Possibly.
I really don't know though. I'd have to assume though. Like I've said, I've never seen Kabuki Man. Kabuki Man is another trauma movie. I don't know if you've heard of that one before.
No.
Yeah, Kabuki Man is another pretty famous trauma movie. I think it's a series of movies even.
Mm.
Um, Kabuki Man PD, I think I think is a movie.
Wow.
Um, but yeah, there's a chainsaw fish, a fish chainsaw
Yeah, so this is like
talking
the
about.
thing. So each time he faces these warriors, like somebody throws a has a sword. So he goes in there, he gets a swordfish. And he uses the swordfish. He goes on guard. You know, he has a swordfish. Then he goes back and gets the ninja. The ninja stars becomes a starfish. He just throws that. Then he comes back and gets that chainsaw with the fish head and starts chainsawing people.
Yeah, yeah, that shit's wild, bro.
It is wild. So
Yeah. Let's see. I think we jumped ahead to. Oh yeah, he turns the fish head boy into a plate. There's a fish head guy that
yeah, so
just shows up.
he's the other. So technically, that he's Toxi's fighting his brother at
Yeah,
this
it's
time,
a failed experiment is what they called him.
right? And he has anti-trauma. Like he's made out of anti-trauma or tripod.
The
Tripod.
anti-traumatons.
Yes, that's that fish, and he's trying to
Puts
use
him in
it.
the face with white liquid, which is pretty fucked up.
Yep, kills him. Made him. I just love how he's it's a fish head fish body, and then there's like a the whole human head over him. I'm like, these costuming on this one's pretty funny. It reminded me of Power Rangers, and during this time, the Power Rangers are in Japan. That if you didn't know that,
The
Mighty
original
Morphin Power
series.
Rangers is from Japan.
Yeah, the original series. I have no idea what it's called.
Super Saita Man or whatever. Like it's like Saita something like that. But I felt like some of these extras were from that show because it's like, wow, look at that, look at that goon. So then he finds his dad, and like, oh, he beats his dad, and he thinks,
Well, his
oh,
dad puts on a diaper next. His dad puts on a diaper. And Toxie, this is one of my favorite quotes in here. There's another quote I have directly from Toxic Avenger. To see your own father in a diaper. Oh, what a toxic head trip.
yeah.
Fucking fire ass
Well,
quote. Love
okay,
that
so
one.
so he gets hurt. He does get hurt in that battle because they go to the sumo. Misa thinks like it's like since he got defeated by a sumo wrestler or whatever, he needs to go into a sumo
Oh,
dojo.
this is where Big Mac gets chopped up.
Right.
He gets chopped up because the guy gets distracted by the nude lady goon. And let's see, anti-traumatons. Yeah, this is where it breaks in front of Toxie.
Yep. And then he gets.
And then that's what causes him to go to the camp.
So you can say the sumo the philosophy of the sumo is what saved Toxie, but
Yeah.
and he learned
Well,
sumo.
it healed him, really healed him. It really kind of got him back into shape, you know. It rehabilitated him is what it did.
You talk about like being respectful. I think what they were doing the sumo stuff. I'm like, I actually think that's how sumo wrestlers do it. Like, get rid of evil spirits, but
By the way, the voice of the head sumo guy, the sumo leader coach guy, he that's Lloyd Kaufman doing that voice. I did see.
Oh, nice.
And our voice for Mac, for Big Mac, is the other collaborator, Michael. Fuck, I always forget the other
Yeah,
guy's name.
that's his name,
The other
Michael Fuck.
collaborator, I forget his name, but he does the voice of Big Mac. I saw.
That's interesting. I actually think the Japanese stuff is fun. I wish they would cut it down a little bit.
Mr. Melvin, you're likely to get a lot less Japanese stuff in Mr. Melvin.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of, and maybe they pad it for runtime, but I think if you made this an hour and a half, maybe an hour and 20, I think the movie would have flew.
Yeah. So Toxie says goodbye to Masami, goes back to Tromaville via windsurf again. Citizens' foreheads are being branded with the Apocalypse Inc. logo. There's a gang of this is the SA scene. There's a gang of lady goons that confront Claire. And yeah, she's basically kind of gets SA'd, and Toxie arrives and spanks one of the lady goons.
Yes.
Puts in others in headlock. Basically, Claire and Toxie go to get to fighting them if I remember correctly.
And then they hire their number one, like he's beating him up, he's starting to clean him up, and like old boy's getting pissed off. It's like, you know what? We'll send our head guy out there.
The number one henchman, the final boss henchman, if you will, the Dark Rider.
Guy on a motorcycle, guys.
Cool guy on a motorcycle.
And then
Cool
there's
guy.
the ending has this whole little plot with some kind of a plot. I just remember watching going,
He's got nitroglycerin strapped to his body, and his job is to drive into City Hall and basically suicide bomb himself, I guess.
So it causes Toxie to get into a taxi, and then as they're trying to chase this guy down, hijinks happen.
With an elderly couple that's on their honeymoon. I believe. I believe.
Yes, I think they just really got married. They waited for a long time before finally being able to commit to each other.
I do think they say it's the honeymoon, right?
Yeah.
Or is it the anniversary?
It's either the anniversary.
Say it's the honeymoon.
No, it's the anniversary. It's their 50th year. It's their 50th anniversary, and they were gonna go do something, but their adventure with Toxie was a lot better.
Yeah, they get this hell ride that they go on.
Just.
So yeah, basically a chase scene commences at this point. They hit a crossing guard.
Yeah.
He just kind of takes the bump and he walks away fine. He's like, don't worry about me, kids. I'm good. He just walks away.
Don't worry about me.
Yeah, two unrelated car crashes that hit each other and explode. uh, Dark Rider and the taxi driver drive under a semi truck and they shave off the entire roof section of the taxi. And the taxi driver is super bummed at first, until Toxie points out that it's a convertible. And then the dude's down. He's like, "Yeah,
Yeah, I
you know
couldn't
what?
afford one, but you know what? You're
You know
right.
what, dude? Hell yeah. You just changed that. You just changed that for me, Toxie. Thank you."
Toxie's always making Tromaville a lot better place.
But yeah, the taxi fucking drives into another, I think, Apocalypse Inc. truck, and it explodes, and everyone survives.
Yeah, there was a point where I was like, "Whoa, another bomb happened!" Like, oh, the older couple's dead, and then it was like, "No, we're kind of in a
No, everyone,
cartoon."
because the taxi driver gets out and runs away, and you realize Toxie's still alive. Oh, and the elder,
And
and the elderly
all thing that's
person's
wrong
still
with
alive.
them is they're just dirty.
Yeah, they're like a cartoon.
Yes,
They just got the smut around their face like a cartoon.
and that's what's like this movie. Like it already showed me in the first 20 minutes that it's a cartoon. So like anything that's going on,
Then
I'm
you
just
have
like,
moments like when Mac is getting chopped up. That's like incredibly gory. Like
right. And the fact that like the
people
guys
get hit.
this guy's just like boobies, like.
Yeah. It's such a weird mix of like over the top gore and
No,
like
I
almost
guess I got
cartoon,
that
no
there's
one
a
can
sense
be
of
hurt.
the sexual nature of it, that just of chopping and insinuating like jerking off kind of thing. And I was like, okay,
He's distracted easy. Yeah, he's distracted by the sex and it's causing the
which I
literally
mean, like,
causing the
it could
violence.
be a critique of slasher films being about sex and stuff like that. And this is
Oh,
kind
now
of
we're getting real deep. Now I like this.
yeah.
I
You
like
could,
this.
I mean, yeah, I mean, and I shouldn't think about this deep because I don't think they
No,
thought
no,
about
that's
too
good.
deeply
I
in this.
like where we're going with this. It could be looked at that way because it's like the distraction. Because it really is like that's what a lot of these exploitation films are is boobies and gore, man. You
Well,
know.
that's why people loved the slasher films in the '80s. They knew they were going to get a titty shot, and
Hey,
then
man, I know when I was a kid, I wanted the I wanted the ones with the boobies in them.
yeah. So I mean, it felt like because of how long that thing was going and how much we paid attention to how Kaufman switched, like, cut back and forth between guy chomping and the girl with tits, and just like, yeah, I think there's something here, and showing the gore to almost like the of a fantasy and stuff like that. Like, there's you could go that way. You
No,
could.
I definitely see it. It could be looked at that way for sure. Toxie, let's see. Toxie steals an airboat gimmick. I don't know what you call those fucking things. The big boat with the fan on the back. You know what the fuck do you even call those things?
Oh, a hover
Air
car.
is that what that is? Was that a hover car?
Yeah, I think that's technically
That was
called a
a
hover
boat.
car.
I thought that was a boat. I thought it was like one of those like giant.
Oh yeah, you might be right. Yes.
Anyway, he's driving it on land. It might actually have been a hover car kind of thing because that would make sense. Because I was baffled to him driving it on land. Um, but Dark Rider drives into a random ass garage and just explodes.
Boom.
That's the end. That's the end of him. Toxie basically chases him into a random neighborhood where he drives into a random garage and explodes, and that's the end. That's Toxie saved the day. That almost certainly killed whoever's in that house, though, right?
Yes, but don't tell me he's going to show up in the sequel.
It was enough explosives to take out a city hall.
Yeah, one garage,
It
and then
probably took
that
out
dude's
at least
dead.
that house, and maybe the neighboring house.
Okay, but they're an evil corporation. This dude was suited all up. If he came back in the sequel and they gave me some bullshit explanation, I might dig with it.
He could definitely come back.
I would say that
I
the
don't
ending.
remember.
I actually
I
think
don't
that this
remember his
ending
death.
is the weakest point of the movie.
Yeah, they just kind of randomly cut to everyone celebrating after that. Big Mac shows up. The real Big Mac
Yes. And,
shows up.
oh, that's not Big Mac Janko. That was Big Mac, like,
Junko.
Junko. He's a junk. I was like,
Barbie wears Junko.
sorry for the mistake here.
Yeah, he's a former. Let's see.
And he got lost.
The
Like,
fake Big Mac was a former con man. It's revealed, and yeah, but the real Big Mac decides to stay with Toxie's mom, and it's a happy ending.
oh, and the first thing that the mom does is puts Mr. Big Mac in her tits.
Oh yeah, yeah, it does. Yeah.
Yes, it was just like, oh, I haven't seen you in like how long? Boom, And the
The
mom,
chairman, by the way, they do reveal that the chairman and like I think one of the sidekick characters or something are still alive and hitchhiking before it says this is not the end.
well, you're definitely, you telling me that that they filmed so much footage. They got 2 movies out of it. This did feel kind of
So
like
they already had the third, everything about the third one shot
done,
and
yeah. And
planned
I
out,
felt
pretty
like
much.
that this is what's damaging the movie more for me. Like I
I just my
enjoyed the
only thing
20
is
minutes
my only thing is I'm curious about the pacing of it,
on the
because
third
like
film. Yeah,
yeah, like I'm really curious to see the third one now, so we can like sort of look at them as like, well, how would it work as one movie? You would because you almost certainly is going you would have to change the pacing somewhere, less like way less Japanese stuff to make room for this stuff that happens in three, maybe. You know what I mean?
you
I
would
don't
have
even
to
know
cut
what
the
happens
first
in
20
three still.
minutes. Make it.
You can't get rid of that 20 minutes.
You
You need
got
that 20
to.
minutes.
You
No,
got to.
gotta keep it.
You
Make
got
it longer.
to.
You gotta make it longer.
Because then instead of making it 20 minutes, making you make it 15 minutes or 10 minutes. I think you can find the cuts there.
Man. I guess you could tighten it up,
You
but
could tighten it up. Like there's certain kills that didn't work as good as others. I mean, you keep the best ones. And then the Japanese stuff, you cut a lot of that out.
yeah, you could cut a lot of Japan out, man.
And you
I've
probably can
like
cut the ending a little bit.
because so much of it is Toxie literally just kind of walking.
Yeah. Just looking for his dad. And it just,
Just I'm looking for dad. This is more looking for dad montage.
yeah, it almost felt like when we got to Japan was like a whole different movie. And then it's the movie, since Ruby told me that he was going to Japan, I was expecting it. And how we got there and what we did there was actually kind of surprising. Like very low stakes.
Yeah,
This
I'd love
one
to.
felt very low stakes versus even though there's bombs going off and like blind people, threats of this, everything else, it's just like
Well, it could have been the world was at stake if I guess if Apocalypse Inc. had taken Tromaville and then thus gone into New York City and then they would have taken the world, right? Because they were
yes,
they were like, we have taken everywhere else.
except for we need this key point.
Yeah.
I think I like the
We're
tone
that
better in this one. I think they like I complained. I remember I complained the last time we talked about I didn't like the tone shift in the Toxic Avenger. It was like wanting to play a horror film and then also a superhero film, and it wasn't sometimes fighting the mix. Where I felt like the mix here was superhero
Oh, I
all the
heard
time.
that. I heard oh.
She's in the bottom.
What a cutie.
So it just the tones in this one was a lot better. Like, there's things that they definitely improved on from the first film. I think I still prefer the first film over this film. Let me
Yeah.
if I see the third film and go like, oh my god, I can see where they could mirror these two, and that these two parts together is better than as a whole. It's better than the first one. I can't say for sure.
I might like this one a little bit better than the first one. At least for a couple of I mean, really that fucking fight scene.
Yes,
I really love that fight scene.
that's
I
the
can't
only thing
stress
that's keeping me.
how
It's
much
just
fun I have with that.
I think the ending is what's bringing it down for me, and maybe some of the Japanese stuff. I don't remember like looking at my when the first Toxic Avenger. I think it's even shorter too than this film. This film's an hour and 40 minutes, and it didn't need to be an hour and 40. Especially if you're telling me they had so much footage, cut the bitch down.
I mean, if you're dude, I think you're right. It is an hour and 40, and I didn't even really think about that. Like, you definitely could cut another 10 minutes of Japanese
Yes,
shit out and tightened it
and
up.
maybe you keep that 20 minutes. You keep it and trim around it.
You can still get the message across very easily that he's looking for his damn father and cut easily like 10 minutes of that montage shit out.
Correct. Correct. There's actually multiple montages. They ain't just one. It's multiple.
Oh yeah, I know.
And just
I know.
Japan, just in Japan alone, which is great. I love Japan as a scenery. Don't get me wrong. I just don't think the movie needed to go that way. Or if he needed to be in Japan, just get to Japan faster. And maybe move that fight sequence that first 20 minutes to the last 20 minutes. where he comes back from Japan, learning a new move in sumo, and now he's destroying these guys because he's doing it with patience and with tolerance.
Do you think the sumo stuff plays into 3?
Maybe.
I
Because
wonder.
the lessons he's supposed to learn is patience and tolerance.
Yeah, he's gonna be like Batman and learn different skills.
Yeah, we'll see. That's why I'm excited for the third film. I'm going to
I've
save.
seen 4. I know I've seen 3, but I don't remember 3 at all.
Oh,
I've seen 4 more recently because I didn't grow up with that one. I kind of remember 4 a decent amount of. 4 is really insane.
okay.
You're gonna have a lot of fun with 4. 4 is more modern than the other 3 because 4 was shot in like like 2003 or something like that.
Oh,
I
wow.
wanna say.
Low budget
It's
2003. Okay, cool.
it's a little bit more modern than the other ones that feel like solidly 80s 90s movies.
Okay. I think we're at a good point. So I'm going to save my last point after this interview on the closing side. But Humble, give the people the last thought of Toxic Avenger.
Oh man,
Dude.
I mean, I love this shit. This has been so fun to revisit because, like I said, I haven't seen it since I was a kid. Uh, I'm excited to see 3. I'm excited to see 3 and how it can connect to 2 as being like, okay, how did they shoot this as one movie? Like, it'll be fun as like a puzzle in my brain to figure out. So, hella excited to watch 3. Yeah, man. What are your final thoughts on this?
Well, you're gonna
This
have to wait for that one. I'm gonna wait for the episode to come out for you to find my final thought.
Oh, you're not even gonna tell me? What a tease,
What a
bro. That's
tease,
not fair.
bro! I've been waiting to do
That's not
cause I
fair
gotta
at
do my
all.
rating. You guys get a whoops up, whoops down, whoops sideways, and you're gonna have to wait.
Oh
Next week for
man,
that.
you're not even gonna tell me if you have a good opinion. You gotta tell me if it's a whoops up or a whoops down.
I'll tell you after the recording.
Oh fucking A. That's no fun. That's no fun.
I gotta keep some
No
mystery
fun.
to it, man. I gotta get people to watch the whole thing.
Oh, that's no
But
fun.
yeah, people. Me and Humble had such a great time doing this that we are gonna finish the series this summer. This is the summer of Toxie. All right, Humble. Go ahead and do your social stuff.
Oh yeah, my little wrap up gimmick.
Yes.
Humble among on everything, all your social media gimmicks, all of that good stuff. Subscribe to me on YouTube, Humble Among on YouTube. Humble Among Broadcast System is the stream that I do. Subscribe to my Twitch too. I'm gonna try to do more shit over there. Yeah, I have an album that I should finish that I'm not finishing. Buy merch from me so I can finish that album. That's about it. Whoop whoop.
Whoop, whoop. Thanks. Hey, thanks for coming, Humble. I appreciate it. I can't wait to talk again next month about
Yeah.
Toxic Avenger 3.
22nd, right?
What's that?
The 22nd.
22nd. Toxic Avenger 3 is going down. Thank you, Humble. I will talk to you later on, pretty soon next month, talk about Toxic Avenger 3. But let's get to the next portion where I give Toxic Avenger a whoops up or a whoops down. I'll tell Humble right now, but you have to wait in just till now.
I'd like to thank Humble Among once again for joining us on this edition of Whoops Up, Whoops Down. But let's now get to the rating that I told him that I will now tell you. But before that, let me give you my last thoughts of Toxic Avenger 2. I thought it was a fun movie. It's very wacky, very silly, and it knows it's wacky and silly, and I still love how, they're taking the concept of, all the, what the slasher films did with practical effects and using that practical effects like in a slasher film and applying it to like a Looney Tunes superhero way can add such a fun layer and silliness to the material. Like if in a horror film, like that would be like, oh my god, it's scary. But in Toxic Avenger 2, it's just like you're laughing with it. And the limousine clown car is so funny. But what my problems with this film is that it's an hour and 40 minutes. It's a little too long. Its pacing is all over the place. We spend way too much time in Japan. But the materials that we got there I enjoyed, and I thought the ending was weak sauce. I thought that, and in fact, that Humble told me that they filmed so much footage, they made 2 movies out of it. It definitely feels that way. So I'm thinking about this. I don't think it deserves a double whoops up. So this is my first time ever, and we'll continue to do this for certain movies to extinguish, how I feel about them. But this is just a plain old whoops up. Gets one whoops, not a double whoops. It's a one whoop. I think there's still a lot of material here that I really enjoyed, but I think the first one is better. It's shorter, it's better paced, even though the themes, the not the themes, the kind of like the the slasher humor and the first one sometimes didn't mix well. Where this one it did, it just what my problems was more pacing. Where that the first one felt kept moving a little bit, a little bit. So, but definitely just a plain old whoops up for Toxic Avenger 2. And that's the episode. Thanks for watching. If this is your first time on the channel. Thanks for watching all the way through. Please like and subscribe and hit that notification button because, brother, this month of June, I have two other interviews planned. And a special one at the beginning of July for my birthday. So stay tuned because I have a lot of guests coming and still more to go as we, kind of gear up towards the gathering a little bit and enjoy the summer of Toxie. Maybe the films where I'm not watching newer films that can coincide with the Toxie summer thing. But a lot of new movies coming out this summer. Catch on the radar of that. But yeah, thanks for watching. Whoop whoop. Much clown love.